Hi, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. I'm Sissy, life coach and motivation speaker, and also I also teach about spirituality as well. I coach life coaching and also spiritual coaching as well, and how to develop yourself spiritually as well. Right. So my channel, I normally speak about different variations of topics regards to self-development and awareness, understanding. Information is key to your evolution, right? So today we're going to talk about the social media platform and the history of social media as a platform of social interaction and connection. Now, social media is huge at this moment because even the corporations have also bought into it and use it as a marketing platform to market their products as well, right? And get more consumers, get more attention. Right now, let's look at social media from the beginning, from the inception of social media, right? Somebody who's born in the 70s, right? I've kind of experienced and witnessed how the social media platform of Anonymous has actually evolved, right? With the introduction of internet used by every single person, right? Because the internet was initially created by the American Defense Force, right? Army, and they used it for their military services and stuff like that, right? So when the internet now became available to everybody else and became something like a commodity you can buy, right? It introduced a lot of possibilities for human beings, right, in general, right? Now, as somebody who's also basically involved in IT as well, because I work in the IT industry, okay? So, social media was introduced from the 70s to the 90s. It has a period of time that it evolved, okay? The computer network was the first one, was the early ones, was the 1970s to 1980s, which was known as ARPANET. ARPANET allowed messages, boards, and groups discussions. That was the early simplest. I can imagine it to be something like a DOS system with no graphics, no color, as we know it is today. The social media platforms are very graphical and very colorful. Okay, then came the 1997, okay, where the 6 degrees was now introduced, widely considered the first social media platform, probably just in America, right? You could create a profile, list your friends, and interact with them, right, on the core modern social media, right? It was called 6 degrees. That was in 1997. And in the 2000s, social media just exploded, right? We have platforms like Friendster, which is American based. I don't think it was actually introduced to other countries outside of America, right? Friendster, there was this MySpace. Now, MySpace is really popular because even now it does still exist, okay? And it's very international. MySpace. Then we have LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more about the academic, yes, also about your corporate person, the workspace. LinkedIn focuses more on a workspace. And in these years, since its introduction in 2003, it has evolved. Now you can even put videos on there. You can put all sorts of things on there. Before you could only put only like type in words and stuff. There was no graphics and stuff, very few graphics. It just kind of evolved to where it is at this moment, right? Now, remember, as human beings, we always focus on progression and getting things better. Expansion, we just naturally align to expansion as human beings, okay? And then came Facebook, FB, right? Facebook is now a global phenomenon. We all love it. We all used it. There's very few people in the world globally that don't have a Facebook account at any time, right? Any given time, right? But unfortunately, this was only for initially for college students, and it blew up because they saw the ability it had for expansion and usage within the general public, right? So then came in 2005 came YouTube, the platform that we all use now, the one I'm using right now, right, in 2005. It's nice to look at the history of these different platforms that we currently use now, right? And we cannot imagine life without these platforms, right? However, YouTube being one of the major platforms, right, for content creation and sharing content, was only introduced in 2005 after LinkedIn. After LinkedIn, remember, LinkedIn was more focused on your career, on finding job and employment, and you communicating with other organizations that were employing people, right? So LinkedIn being like a site where you put your CV in and you put your profile and you're looking for employment. And LinkedIn is very popular in many countries, including South Africa, right? And then YouTube is very popular. Every country is using YouTube because it's a way of you also sharing information, educating, and also learning yourself, right? And then Twitter. Now, Twitter, for some reason, I never take very well to Twitter. Twitter is more about conversations, small conversations, and you just posting. For me, it seems like a news platform, right? Where you're not communicating, you're just notifying. Because even the characters that you use in the platform, right, when you're typing a message or whatever, is very short. It's limited characters you can use in Twitter. However, Twitter has also evolved a lot. Twitter has been a platform where people express their opinions, their political opinions, their socio-economical opinions about life in general. Twitter is a wonderful platform for people to get information and understanding if you enjoy that type of short communication type of phenomenon, right? And then the 2010 mobile and virtual era, yes, things now went up a level up from the 2000s, okay? 2010 mobile and virtual era, like Instagram. Yes, Instagram has also blown apart. It's also been very widely accepted and very popular globally because it's more like pictures. It's like an album. It's like electronic album. You understand? Unlike Facebook. Facebook is about you communicating, yes, but also sharing. Excuse me, sharing your information. Excuse. Um, excuse me. So YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook and Instagram, they have similarities because for me, my personal experience with Instagram and Facebook. Facebook is a place where family members and also friends and stuff like to come together, share information, share pictures, same as Instagram. And then gradually Instagram started being used more for like business. Excuse me. Instagram started getting used more for business. Excuse me. Excuse. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my live. Okay. Today we're talking about the phenomenon of social media and how it actually expanded and how it's affecting us as human beings. The positive side of it and also the negative side. Hi, Kiri. Nice to meet you, guy. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining my live. Okay. We're speaking about social media and how it's actually kind of molding us and how we are actually gaining from social media generally and how we also being negatively affected by social media. Remember, in the game of life, there's positive things and there's negative things. One thing can have two sides to it, like social media. Social media has a big positive side to it, and it has a big negative side to it. When you are a consumer or a creator, you need to understand that social media is only one small part of your life. Social media is one small part of your life. If you are a creator like myself, you have to have boundaries. You have to have a time whereby you switch off and you continue with your life. It's the same as anything in this world, right? Social media is not good for you to be obsessive. When you become obsessive and you can't live without it, especially if you are going on social media as a creator for validation, right? Because remember that when you are a content creator, you're not a perfect person. You just have the ability and the desire to create something and share content and to inform, educate, inspire. It doesn't mean that you are a perfect person. You still have problems, still have challenges, you still have shadow, right? That's why you need to be aware and understand that social media is a great platform to meet people, to communicate, to share information, to create tribes, to create communities where like-minded people come together, right? To communicate, to share, to inspire, to educate each other as well, right? Very important to know that social media, excuse me, being what it is, should not control us. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. Okay. Coughing so much. For those that are new here, I'm Sissy, life coach and motivational speaker. My channel's a lot about spirituality, wellness and self-development. My channel's about speaking about different topics that affect us as human beings and our evolution and our development as people. Okay, so when you go on social media, what are you looking for? Are you looking for entertainment? Are you looking for distraction? Are you looking for information? Are you looking for something? Because when you go on social media, there's a reason why you're going on there. There's a reason why you're following people or subscribing to channels, right? Because you have a specific need. A need to connect and meet different people, maybe. Like, for example, Facebook. Because Facebook is a great social connection tool or platform. YouTube is more about information being given, something new, something outside of your worldview, or maybe something that's within your worldview already, right? So let me go back to speaking more about the history of social media, okay? I said the first platform ever, right, was actually created between 1970 to 1990s. So we had a platform called what's called ARPANET. ARPANET, this is like the grandfather of social media, basically, right? It's a relic. It allowed message boards and group discussions, probably like the DOS system, right? So if you are born like in the 70s, you know what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about DOS, especially if you were in the IT field, okay? Okay, like I started working in IT in 1990, right? And yeah, we're still using DOS, like just like moving all over to the Microsoft packages and stuff like platform. So we still use DOS, which is no graphics, no pictures, no color, just like inscription words, or more like forgot what they used to call it again, codes. You put codings. It's the first form of social media with something called the ARPANET, okay? ARPANET. And then after that came the 6 degrees, which is all that was in 1997, right? 6 degrees, widely considered the first true social media platform. You create a profile, you list your friends and interact. The core of modern social media platforms like Facebook, you create a profile, you list your friends and you interact, right? Okay, now we have more than that. Now we upload videos, we upload pictures, now we upload stuff now. It's not more just about just connecting or chatting with friends and stuff like that and family. Then in the early 2000s is exploded, social media exploded. Many platforms launched during this time, right? Like Friendster. If you're American, you understand what I'm talking about. Friendster was not really widely introduced globally, okay? And then MySpace was just like also not really widely introduced globally at the beginning. You understand? Now we can have access to it no matter wherever you are in the world, I suppose, depending on your internet as well. Okay. And in 2003, again, LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn's very popular because it's about getting employment, connecting with recruiting companies, connecting with recruiting organizations that are looking for employers. So there you market your CV as a professional platform for professional profiles. You understand your work, your business, whatever it is, right? But remember now, I've seen it's a bit of a change too as well in terms of how that platform is now. Now you can also upload videos on there. You can also market your stuff in the on LinkedIn as well. But it is still considered more of a professional platform for people that are wanting to connect with other professional organizations for employment, for business interaction and stuff like that. Okay. So I think LinkedIn's linked a lot on branding. You got a brand because remember your CV is your brand, right? So I've got a lot of information about recruitment because I used to run a recruitment company, right? But specifically for people with impairments, right? In South Africa, we have what we call PEE, right? So I had an organization of my own, a company where I actually help people with disabilities get employment opportunities, right? So using LinkedIn a lot as one of the platforms to market or to get opportunities for people that have a certain impairment, all right? The previously disadvantaged group, right? So in 2004, Facebook, our favorite Facebook, I'm calling it favorite because there's no person on this earth living now in a place where this technology doesn't have Facebook. Everybody has. That was the entry level social media platform, Facebook. Yeah, there you share your pictures, you speak to your friends and your family, you communicate. You can also now recently also market your stuff as well as a business person, maybe a coach or a person who sells merchandise like clothing items or anything, even your baking and stuff like that. You can use that platform, Facebook. Now, Facebook being the place where you can post pictures. For me, it's similar to what we have in Instagram. Now, I remember that Instagram is considered as a album, electronic album where you can put your pictures in. However, now it has evolved further, and now you can share videos on there. As a content creator, you create a profile and you connect to your community, you build a community and you connect. Or you can also use it as a platform to actually sell yourself, your products, right? Because remember that social media has also introduced what we call commercialization and self-branding. Okay, very important to know how this has really helped us as human beings. Right now, we're not just depending on a corporation to give us employment. We've got platforms where we can actually share our skills and our abilities, our talents to other people out there, and those people they now pay for us a specific service that we have now kind of you know what I mean, wrapped up and branded, and we sell that product to the public, causing a commercialization type of process. Now, remember that it helps human beings to get empowerment, and social media is one of the major positives around social media is self-empowerment, and it also builds your self-confidence. Your self-confidence and knowing yourself, it builds it up. That's why I also encourage other people to open your own YouTube account and try and make videos, about the things that you are good at. I always tell my clients, if you're good at certain things, right? A lot of people want to know what you do, how you can actually add value to their lives. social media is not only for specific type of person, it's for every single person, as long as you feel comfortable sharing. And remember, there's rules of engagement. Don't be too personal. Don't put all your social personal stuff out on social media, because remember, we're living in a world where there are people that can also use that information against you. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's important for you to understand that. Did you know that you are cute? Oh, thank you so much. I feel so cute when you tell me that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Lovey. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I love compliments. Uh, Hi, can I please send you some, what's Robux? I don't know what that means, Lovey. What is Robux? What are you selling? Okay, anyway, uh, we can speak about that if you're interested. Just send me a message, okay? I think my link to my Gmail is there as well. All right, just send me a message and we can chat more. Okay, I'm not so I can get more understanding. Right? Who else joined? Guys, thank you for joining my live. Right? I appreciate all people. If you have not, my lovey, the guy that says that I'm cute, go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel so that you can see more of my content and more of my cuteness. Okay, right, back to my topic. Okay, so as I said, it has evolved from the 2000s, right? It went from Friends, something called Friendster, which is an American platform. I don't think it was actually widely introduced to the general public. That was in 2002. And then in 2003, MySpace, right? Or MySpace, sorry. And then 2003 was LinkedIn. I was talking about LinkedIn briefly, right? I spoke about Facebook was 2004. And in 2005 was YouTube, our favorite platform, right? Before YouTube used to intimidate me. When I started making YouTube videos, it used to intimidate me. You know what I mean? Then only later on I started doing lives, because of the fact that it's about building your confidence. Because I first did like TikTok for me was the easiest way of getting myself known and speaking about my coaching and speaking about self-development and spirituality was TikTok. Okay. Although I started like YouTube long before I kind of opened accounts on TikTok, you understand? But at the end of the day, it's all about your intention, guys. What are you intending? Certain platforms are more easier, because TikTok only came in 2016, long after Facebook and even Instagram, right? TikTok was something like more faster, shows a video to the point. Okay, there's a global rise since 2016, and it actually bypassed uh, platforms like Facebook and even Instagram. People prefer TikTok. If you want to grow your community, TikTok is a platform where you can grow faster, right? And then there's different levels and different techniques and ways you can get your community to grow on TikTok. All right. So if you or somebody that has aspirations to become a content creator, right? Don't be shy and don't be afraid, because we all start to the point whereby we are but kind of self-conscious and we are afraid of what people are going to say, how people are going to actually react to us. At the end of the day, no one's perfect. I am Sicilian, right? And I'm unique. There's nobody else like me. And you are unique. There's nobody else like you. So don't be afraid of putting yourself out there if you feel that you want to do so. Put don't be afraid of the process, because it's all about self-development and awareness, right? Now, as a life coach, it doesn't mean that I'm perfect, that I don't have issues with self-esteem. Social media is a great platform to help you. It helps you to get the negative feedback and how to cope with negative feedback. And it helps you also how to cope with positive feedback as well. Because in this world, you're going to get both. You get positive feedback and you get negative feedback. And you need to be okay with both expressions of human expression. Because not every single person can like me or like you. You understand? Social media is a platform of socializing, getting to know people, and even understanding about your own self, your own weaknesses as well, right? Now, let's talk more about this phenomenon called social media. Why social media was initially created. Some social media wasn't really created for entertainment or money. Some believe that, right? That it wasn't originally for making money or entertainment. Its core purpose was to connect people, to get people to see other people, right? Like at the moment, I'm in Southern Africa, in South Africa, in Durban, right? And you guys are in different places in the world, am I right? So that means we're now connecting, which is a wonderful thing, because before, say for example, before even 2000s, it was difficult. There was something called pen pal, where you could write letters and you wait a week or 2 weeks to get a reply. And I had a pen pal when I was younger. I think I was in high school. I had a pen pal in Uganda. You understand? And we communicated, and it took a while. And you never get to actually really meet that person because we never had the platform. Okay, so you guys, I'm from South Africa. I'm currently living in Johannesburg. Hello, sweetie pie. I hope you're doing well. What is your name, lovey? I see your handle I can't see your name there. All I see is it Pure C Industry, South Africa. Okay. Nice to meet you. I'm Sassin, life coach and motivation speaker, and content creator and sharer, a spiritual teacher and coach. Okay. I'm from South Africa as well, based in KZN in Durban. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you guys. Okay. Thank you for joining my live. If you have not as yet, go ahead. Elsa. Hi, Elsa. It's nice to meet you, lovey. Nice to meet you. If you're from Johannesburg, okay. Nice to meet you. That's what I like, the platform of social media. You get to connect with different people that you wouldn't ordinarily connect with, right? So there's something we have in common here. Okay, there's something we have in common here, an understanding, a vibration. You understand? Yeah. So it's nice to meet you. So today we're talking about social media and how it evolved and how it's affecting us on a psychological level and a social level, as well on a business level as well. You understand? Because it's actually blew up businesses. Now individuals can also be brands, which is a wonderful thing. Now you can brand yourself up nicely. Sell your products or your service, and people get to know you, people that would not ordinarily got to know you. You understand? That's why I love social media. Although I know that I need to be very mature about social media, I don't spend a lot of time on social media consuming content, right? I try and be very cautious and more disciplined, right? I'm a content creator, yes. That's one small part of me. You understand? One small part of me is a content creator. I'm not going to spend all my hours in the day and all my time on social media. I'm not going to do that because it's one small part of me. You have to have boundaries in life. You have to have boundaries. You heard of the new Walmart in Southern Africa, Four Ways? No, sweetie pie. I didn't see it. Four Ways is in Joburg, am I right? No, I haven't heard of that. I'm in Durban. I moved from Joburg up in 2013, when I left the country for a while and I came back. But I was in Joburg from 1999 till 2013. I lived in Joburg, in Kempton Park. Yeah. I used to work in Midrand. Yeah, in the IT company there. But anyway, let me go back to my topic, right? So social media was created for uh communication, connecting people originally. The idea was to help people stay in touch, to share life experiences and updates, and build community. It was about building communities. That was the initial um, objective of social media, to share information easily as well, right? As I said earlier on, social media was built to make publishing simple for everyone. You don't have to have technical skills. You don't need to have technical qualifications to be on social or be on social media, right? And to also publish information. You understand? To build identities as well. That's not one of the reasons, okay, of why it was created in originally, right? Profiles allowing people to express themselves. Like now, the one I use, I'm expressing myself now. I'm talking to you guys, right? I'm communicating with you guys. I'm getting to know you all as well. You understand? So don't be shy. If I ask a question, go ahead and answer, or ask me a question that you want to know about, right? With regards to spirituality, self-awareness, even social media, because that's part of our social construct now. social media. We cannot deny it that it plays a big role in our development as human beings. We can't deny it. Like the way the internet has been such a huge influence over us as human beings, right? To reshape communication as well. So social media is also introduced to reshape communication, foster easier communication without email, right? Fostered an email, fostered an instant messaging. Now we have live events where people are connecting globally. You can be sitting in Brazil somewhere, and you'll be sitting on the other side of the world on an Arctic or whatever, wherever you are. Right? As long as you're able to have a signal, you can communicate with people, right? Without email, without writing long letters, as I told you before, that when I was a teenager, we used to have what we call, long before the internet was actually introduced so globally. It was there, yes, used by the American army, but it wasn't like used by ordinary people to consume, to buy and consume, right? So, foster easy communication and then real-time updates, because now I'm talking to you right now at this time, real time. You can actually come and say something, communicate with me, and we can have a discussion. I can give you feedback, I can give you advice, I can inspire you, I can make you feel better about your life experience. That's what I use it for as a life coach, right? On all my platforms, on TikTok as well, okay? Because I have weekly tarot readings there as well on Saturdays and Sundays, okay? I have tarot readings to help people. I inform people and inspire people to capitalize in digital attention, right? This happened later. The commercial companies or corporations started seeing that they can make a profit out of this whole drama called social media. They can now stop paying big marketing organizations and just use social media to market their products. You understand? Which is another phenomenon, okay? Now we see a lot of adverts on social media. Before there wasn't as much adverts on YouTube, or even, yeah, I haven't seen much. Even on TikTok, you'll see it on TikTok as well now. There's also adverts because it's all about the attention, right? Your attention equals profit for a corporation. Same as a content sharer who is now maybe for example, myself, a spiritual commercial type of content sharer, right? You understand? Because at the end of the day, it's all about me selling a certain service, and then I get paid, right? I serve you, I get paid for it. Same as with organizations. They provide you a service and you pay for it. So there's nothing wrong or right about being a spiritual business. It's nothing wrong or right about it. It's just a phenomenon. It's a platform. It's where you also selling your goods and your services as well, right? So a lot of people believe that spirituality shouldn't be sold. Okay. Yes, I can agree with that, but there's concept, right? When that person, like for example, myself, when I create videos, when I create, for example, workshops or whatever it is, it takes time and money on my side. Same as an organization who creates a certain service that you buy. You are like, for example, a bank creates a service that you're gonna buy from them. Maybe they'll create an insurance policy, or maybe they're gonna create a funeral policy. The work behind it is the same and maybe even more in depth as somebody who's just a social media influencer and creator. Okay, so that person like myself will sit and create packages to sell to my community. It takes time and it takes my resources, and that's what I'm actually selling. I'm not selling spirituality. I'm selling my resources and my time, my effort. That's how it works, right? Because everybody has spirituality, and spirituality is everything. You understand? You are spiritual, I am spiritual. You have the ability to tap into the spiritual subtle realms, right? And I have as well. Just that I have the ability to do so intentionally, right? And I use my ability to tap into spirituality to help other people. But however, because it's a resource, it's a resource that I'm using my time, and I'm using the internet as well, right? I'm using other tools and apps that I pay for. So why should I then give it to you free? That means that you're not going to actually even appreciates it, because people don't appreciate anything for free, unfortunately. It is what it is. You understand? People tend to appreciate things that they pay for. You understand? Things that they put effort on. You understand that I have this money, I need this training, I pay for it. I get the training, it adds value to me because I paid for it. Like anything else, you walk into a shop and you just give them for free. You're not going to value that thing, because you know that tomorrow you can walk into the shop again and get it for free. It has no value. So, as a spiritual entrepreneur, you may call me, right? My time and my effort costs money. You're like any other person that does what I do. You understand, right? So, the impact of social media on the human psychology, very important to know that social media has a profound effects on our minds, positive and negative. Let's speak more about the positive effects of social media. Connecting with communities, number one. You know, there are people who are so-called lonely. They're lonely for a tribe. They're lonely for community. They're lonely for people that think like them. They're lonely for that connection. You understand? There are people that don't really have a big social circle, and the people in their circle don't understand them. So you go and you Google, maybe you wanna, maybe you, for example, you a vegan, a raw vegan. There's nobody in your community that has that type of expression who's dabbling in raw veganism, right? Who is like eating more fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. You don't have somebody to talk to, so you go online, you Google it, right? And you find a lot of communities, and you see, okay, there are people like me or thinking like me. Okay, this is great because now I'm getting the support that I need as a person. Yeah, this is my tribe. That's how it is. Maybe even the spiritual concepts, okay? I'm into, for example, ancestral worship, okay? There's nobody in my community, my media community, that does it. They're all Christians and they all think what I'm doing is demonic. But I know it's not demonic, okay? So I go online, I Google, I go to one of the social media platforms like Facebook, I Google it, right? Ancestral veneration, for example, connecting with my ancestors, and you find groups coming up. Now you find your tribe. Now you can speak to people, you can get advice and see, okay, so this is how you really do it. This is the best way to do it, okay? These are the reasons why most people connect to the ancestors. I have my own reason. They're similar, yes, okay. And we start chatting with people. We start now, okay, learning more. We're getting more information. In other words, our light expands. Your light expands with more information, because information is part of growth. You came here to expand. You, like for example, you're born in a home that's very Christian and very religious, okay? And you're all black people. You'll have a black ancestry, but then somewhere in the bloodline, somebody became Christian because of colonization, right? So now you're all Christians and you call traditional practices demonic, okay? Fine. Now you find out, okay, well, I'm still interested. I want to know more about our old ancestral African practices, spiritual practices. I'm interested. Does that mean that I'm demonic? Now you're meeting other people, find, okay, no, okay, I'm not really demonic. I'm just interested. I just want information. I just want to learn something outside. I want to know more about myself as well. It was coming from my ancestral background. My ancestors, sisters were not Christians. What did they practice? And this is what every single person, black or white, goes through. You want to know where you come from. You want to know your bloodline, despite your ethnic group you come from. Every single person in their journey of evolution and growth and self-awareness and self-development wants to learn about something. Now, social media comes into play there to help you. If you don't have any person that can give you that information that you need. Now there's videos on it, on how to get your DNA and understand about where you come from, sending your DNA to certain laboratories to find out your ancestry and stuff like that. All this is all possible because of social media and because of the impacts of technology in the world, evolution. All about learning and growing, expanding right now. Let's go back to the positive impacts of social media. People stay connected long distances, right? I'm here. There's a lady that's sitting, that's coming, that's connecting from Johannesburg and others else's from in Johannesburg. That's 8 hours away. Okay. And the other time I had somebody from Ghana, in West Africa that was connecting to my life. Now we have something in common. We have the same vibration, the same understanding. We connect online. Okay, very important to know that. Connection and community, creating a community. People stay connected across long distances. We start chatting, we start getting to know each other. We start, maybe you want my service, you want to pay for a service that I provide. I help you, help you develop. You pay for my service, and yes, interaction closed. Okay, but we're still connected. We still chat now and again. You send me messages, you ask me how am I doing, you speak about your family, what's going on in your country. I tell you what's going on in my country. We become great friends. Then it can even evolve further, because it has in the past. Okay, I can decide I'm going to go to Ghana, wherever you are, I want to go visit, and we meet up. Let's meet at a certain place, because we've been talking online for a long time as friends. And also, you are my customer, so we'll meet at a certain place. You see, connections forged, positive, uplifting connections forged. You understand? So that's the positive side of the social media platforms. Marginalized groups find support and solace and belonging. Marginalized, as I told you, like for example, people that belong, that are lesbian or transgender, find belonging and solace and support online as well, which is a positive. Okay, global conversations become possible. We're able to speak about global conversations affecting the global, not just America or South Africa, things that are affecting us globally. So we have these conversations on these social media platforms as well that help grow us and develop as people. Alright, guys, if you have not as yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My channel is about self-awareness and self-development. A lot about spirituality. I speak about witchcraft. I speak about protection. I speak a lot of things around spirituality. Right? So if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So I'm growing my numbers, guys. Remember that the algorithm needs to also pick that out. There's somebody called Sisian, who's a content creator creating a certain type of content. But the algorithm only picks it up when people subscribe to my channel, go into my videos, and also consume my videos and stuff like that, and also engage with me as well. So if you have any question, go ahead and send me a message as well. You understand? And we can now grow our community, a community of self-awareness and self-development, a community of light and love, a community of sharing and inspiring each other. That's what my channel's about. Here, I don't tolerate people that are rude to other people, because there's no need for us to be rude. There's no need for us to be rude to each other. Kindness is the commodity that we lack in this world. Kindness and consideration and empathy for other people. We lack that commodity, and we need it. We need more kindness. Right? So my channel is also about understanding the truth. Your opinions about certain things may be different to mine. It doesn't mean we need to be rude to each other. It means that yes, you have a different worldview, a different perspective, and I have a different one. So we can still be friends. So if you're still interested in being my friend, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. All right, and we can now become chomies and connect, and you can send me messages of any content you're actually interested in regards to spirituality, self-awareness, and self-development. Creativity and self-expression is also one of the things that social media helps us with. People share content, thoughts, and passions instantly, right? Which is a wonderful thing, right? So this is a great step towards evolution for us. People sharing talents, thoughts, and passions instantly. Connections. That's what we have. Connections. Social media is a great platform for great connections, great friendships as well, right? New careers were born as well because of social media. Like, for example, content creators now that are treated like celebrities, ones that are really very successful in what they do, right? Coaches and influencers like myself, right? So new careers were born because of social media. Now we leveled up. Now we're not only depending on a corporation, a business to actually provide a service. Okay, And as a person, you're not depending on going to work for a company. You now become a brand. You become now a commodity. You can now sell your services. Now, remember what I always say: everything in this reality is a negative and a positive. Everything in this reality is a negative and a positive. There's nothing demonic about commercialization. There's nothing bad about commercialization. It has its good and it has its bad. It has its negatives and it has its positives as well, right? However, it helps a lot because remember that with the evolution of human beings and with the introduction of social media and internet and instant messaging and lives and all those things, it helps us a lot as human beings on a business level, but also on a social level. I grow when I get to meet new people, especially when they still communicate with me and ask me questions, because people have different points of view which I can learn from, different worldviews I can learn from you. Remember that as a social media content creator, I'm not only here to speak and teach and inspire, I'm also here to be inspired and to also learn myself about new things I didn't know. Like, for example, there's now a new Walmart in South Africa in Fourways. I'll go and I'll Google it out and I'll speak to my daughter who's in Johannesburg, because Walmart is quite an interesting franchise, an American franchise. I learned something new because I'm speaking to somebody here on my live on social media platform. Okay, right now I said it was self-expression and self creativity and self-expression. Sorry, information access, fast access to knowledge, news, tutorials, and opportunities. You can even get to know about the employment opportunity that you've been looking for employment. You can find it online. Somebody can give you information regards to an a vacancy that's available for you that you are not aware about. You understand? Or you can learn about a new way of treating dreads if you have dreads, a new way of treating skin blemishes or skin conditions and stuff on social media. It's a place of learning as well, not only entertainment, but also learning and evolving, expanding your consciousness. That's the positive side of the social media, right? Then also identity exploration. People experiment with how they present themselves, branding, as I mentioned before, a link to self-commercializing yourself and self-branding. Allows discovery of interests, values, and purpose as well. Very important. It allows discovery of interest, values, and purpose. It's very interesting to know how in depth social media actually affects us positively as a human species in our evolution. You understand, and understanding about ourselves. Leads to compulsive checking, which is also one of this is the negative things as well, right? This is the negative concepts of social media. Now we're looking at the negatives around social media, the negative aspects of social media, right? One of them basically is that, as I mentioned. Okay, so let's go back and speak more about the negatives, right? Let's speak more about the negatives because we cannot deny them. Shorten attention spans, creates dependency on external validation. Very important. You've got to be very mature to be a content creator and not be affected negatively by social media. You need to know yourself, understand who you are, or you should be working on yourself, or else it affects you negative as well. If you're looking for external validation, you don't love yourself, you don't appreciate yourself. You understand it can cause a problem when you don't get likes, you don't get enough followers, you don't get people giving you positive feedback all the time. It can affect you negatively. Like it leads to compulsive checking because you're always checking. Now, at the beginning of social media experience, I used to do that. I started checking myself. I started learning more about this whole phenomenon called compulsive checking. I'm wondering, like, why? Why is my focus so much on this? Social media is just a small part of my life, right? So I had to check myself, right? That's how I learned. Shorten attention spans, okay? I prefer longer videos. I prefer longer social media, YouTube videos that's going to teach me something. I don't really like to stroll on TikTok because TikTok's got those 1 minute stimulation things. I don't want that, right? I go there when I have to for my own channel on TikTok, but it's not where I really consume all my content. Most of my content is consumed on YouTube. You understand? Because that's where there's longer videos and there's a lot to learn there from certain people that I follow. Normal spiritual channels, self-development channels I follow, healthy eating, like for example, raw veganism and vegetarian. I like all that content. Things are gonna add value to me. I like also psychology as well. So I like those type of those channels on YouTube that speak about psychology and understanding yourself as well. As you need to understand your shadows, your fears. You need to understand what they are and work through them, and then also understand that you are human. You cannot be perfect, and your life experience has created shadows. Your life experience has created fears. The question is, are you going to live within the fears of life, or are you going to live as a bold, creative person? You understand, right? And it also causes anxiety and overstimulation. That's why you need to have a time frame on social media. Do not spend too much time on social media. You understand? Do not spend too much time on social media. You must have a time frame. You understand? If you have 8 hours, I work for 8 hours and I spend maybe about, on social media, I spend maybe about 3 hours, tops 5 hours. That's most I can go. Because I know that my life doesn't revolve around social media, because you must have time frames. Your consumption must be limited, and the type of content that you are consuming must have an intention, must be linked to your intention. As I asked before, why do you go on social media? Why do you go on YouTube? What are you seeking? What is your intention? You've got to be very conscious when you are a consumer of social media, even a creator. You got to be conscious, but more of a consumer, you must know why you're going on certain sites and why you're watching certain videos. Don't just be like a drifting through, and then you're strolling and strolling because you are procrastinating from getting your work done, procrastinating from going to work, or procrastinating from going to study because you're supposed to be studying. Now you go on social media. I always have to stop myself, basically. It's about you checking yourself, because you have to be responsible for yourself. Okay? You have to be responsible for yourself. Social media consumption takes maturity. You must know why you're going on certain things, right? And understand that too much of something becomes a problem. When something is consumed too much, out of control, it becomes a problem. It affects your psychology. Very good to know that, right? So it causes the anxiety and overstimulation. Constant information inflow overwhelms the brain, right? And I know that feeling when I want to learn something on social media, and I go and I want to learn maybe about quantum physics, or want to know about something like maybe spiritual practices on the left hand side. So I want to learn maybe about the Kabbalah. I want to hear about the tree of life, whatever it is. You understand? I get overwhelmed, so I know like when to stop. You must know when to stop, because your brain is going to give you that red flag that no, this is too much now. You want to take a break, right? There's something called fear of missing out. FOMO creates a psychological stress as well. People, I'm gonna miss out. I'm gonna miss out what's going on social media. No, your immediate life outside of social media is important, just as important, or maybe even more important than social media. You shouldn't be spending too much time out of your own life. You should be spending time, or 90% of your time, in your life, living your life, doing the things you need to do, study when you need to study, go and do your exercise if you need to do exercises, whatever it is. Take care of your skin. Sleep. People don't even sleep because of social media, because they're on there 24/7, strolling. First thing in the morning, phone next to you. First thing you do, you pick up, you want to check your updates on Instagram. You don't do that, because it causes a problem. Your focus should be your life. Social media is entertainment. It's a place where you can be inspired. It's a place where you can get information. It's not your life. So don't overconsume. Becomes a problem, and it affects you psychologically. Now you have something called FOMO, fear of missing out, creates psychological stress. Your fear of missing out the latest updates or the latest information. Don't. because your life is more important than any updates on social media, because the people that created content are like you. They are human beings living their life experience. They are human beings, not perfect beings, human beings, meaning they have imperfections like you. So don't think that, oh my God, I missed my favorite Instagram social content. I missed her lost updates. Let me just go and see. Whenever I go and I go to a content, she makes me feel at ease. That's good. But remember, you need to also feel at ease even outside of social media. You need to feel at ease when you're alone in your room, sitting quiet. You need to be at ease with yourself. Don't um expect something outside of you to make you feel at ease and make you feel happy. I always say this to my husband. Happiness is for free. You choose to be happy. You choose to focus on the positive things in your reality, right? Because you choose to focus on all the negative things that don't make you happy. That's an intentional choice. So happiness is for free. You don't pay for happiness. You choose it. You decide, I'm now going to look at all the things I'm grateful for. I'm now going to do things that make me happy. I'm going to go for a jog. I'm going to take a walk in nature. I'm going for a swim and make me feel good about myself. You have the choice. Every single person has a choice. Don't depend on social media to raise your frequency. You got to learn how to self-regulate, as I always tell my clients. Self-regulation is very important. Now, distorted reality, this is all the negatives about social media. Social media can distort reality. Highlighted reels make normal life feel not enough. People showing their vacations, people showing their new purchases that they bought in their houses, people showing things that you feel are true, but that's not the real authentic self that they actually expressing. It's all curated. It's all curated. You understand? That's how it is. Okay, so highlight reels make people feel like normal life is not enough, right? Influencers, body image again, fitness, social media, content shares showing their fit six app ads and all those things, and firm better botox and all those things, and there you are trying to make your body more healthy or more firmer, and now you're watching somebody else and you're comparing yourself to the other person. It's a problem. It affects your identity. You begin hating yourself. These are all the negatives around social media. Then decrease presence. People become less grounded, as I said before, less mindful, less intentional. Real world interactions lose depth. You begin to find that real world is not exciting enough for you. And at the end of the day, remember that social media is only a tool of connection. Don't make it be a tool of self-destruction. In social media is a tool of connection, social connection. Don't make it a tool of self-destruction. Don't put social media first before yourself, before your psychological wellness, before your physical wellness, before that. Don't put social media above first. Put yourself above it. You understand? Put yourself first. And I see people spend a lot of time, maybe more than 8 hours a day on social media, right? Then what's happening in your life? What's happening in your the things you're supposed to do, your goals, your likes in life? Is social media the only place you want to be at? Looking at a screen all day, 24/7? No. You need to limit yourself, limit your consumption. And there's a lot of studies. When I was doing my undergraduate degree, right, one of the studies I spoke about in China was a phenomenon of people being addicted to social media for the same reasons. They lose themselves within it. They start now losing the identity and start trying adapt social media influencers' identities. Those people are not perfect. They may portray a perfect persona, a perfect life, but they're not perfect. It's all curated. The lighting is just right. The setup is just right. That's how it works. And you think their lives are perfect when it's not. Very important to note that. Okay, very, very important. Then the impact on human growth and development as well. Social media influences how people evolve emotionally, mentally, and spiritually and socially. Very important to know that, right? As a social spiritual teacher, and also a coach, a life coach, I can understand how social media influences people and it makes them evolve mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well. You understand that these things all affect us. Be very, very aware of that. Changes in attention span or changes in attention span, right? Short form content rewires the brain to create quick stimulation. That's why I don't really care much for short form content. It makes deep work or meditation more difficult, and I meditate every day, right? When I notice myself, I need to know myself, and I see that I'm having a problem just sitting on a 20-minute meditation. I'm feeling a bit irritated, right? There's something I need to look into. You understand? Meditation is important for you because it grounds you within yourself. You are the most important person in your life experience, not your favorite social media content creator. You are more important because you are playing your game. This is your stage. Your life is your stage, right? You playing your game. That social media influencer is playing her game or his game on his or her stage. They're sharing for information sharing, not for you to adapt their lifestyles, not for you to let go of your own experience and attach yourself to their experience. Not about that. It's about you being authentic. They are being authentic, or they are actually showing authenticity. You need to also have your own authentic life and don't be try and copy somebody else's life experience. Very important to know that, okay? As a life coach, it's important because one other time I had a client that used to watch a lot of social media content. Whenever we were speaking, she'd always say, but so and so is my age, and so has achieved so much in social media, so and so has traveled the world, so and so is living a dream world, so and so has met her SP, a special person. I'm not even married, I'm not even dating, I can't meet the right person. Now you're comparing yourself to that person. Number one, so and so is a different worldview. So and so is another country where there's different resources available. You understand? So and so is living in a different social, economical environment than you. And why are you comparing yourself to so and so? So and so is not you. Don't compare yourself to other people. Play the game as an individual authentically, right? And I think I've always had that strength, even before social media became a thing in my life, okay? I don't compare myself to people. I know I'm unique, and my situation and circumstance are unique to me, and I'm not bothered about other people's progress. The only thing I tell myself when I see somebody else progress, I say, well, that tells me that it is possible. That tells me that it's possible for me to also achieve those things. I'm not going to say, oh my God, but why I haven't achieved it. It simply means that I wasn't ready for it yet. I'm not aligned to it. That person achieved the things I would like to achieve. I clap hands for them, and I say, I'm happy for you. Right? That shows me that I can also achieve it too. That gives me more inspiration in life. That gives me the vroom that I need. I never knew this was possible, but now that you achieved it, you're showing me that can be done. Now I know what to do. I will use you not as a comparison, but more like a template on how I can get there. I'm not competing with you, right? We're not in competition. There's nobody that's in competition here. Remember, the people that suffer that or comparison and jealousy, they tend to think that people are competing. We're not here for competition. You compete within yourself against yourself. You are your greatest challenge, your issues, your procrastination, your lack of great self-esteem, your inability to love yourself unconditionally. That's your challenge, not to compete with other people. They have their own journeys, their own scripts, their own purpose why they're here. And maybe we might have similarities why we're here, but it doesn't mean our purposes and or all the same. No, it doesn't mean that. So when I see somebody else achieving, I say, yes, thank you. At least now I can see this thing is possible. Now I can see that, like, me too, if I do A, B, and C and commit and be disciplined, I'll be able to achieve it. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I don't compare myself and sit there and say, oh my God, that person is same age as me. That person, look at my life. No. And I'm comparing my life to their lives. I don't do that because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. I learned that from a very young age. It's a waste of time comparing yourself to other people. I don't do it on social media. I don't do it in my real life either. Because I know I'm me. I'm playing my own game. I'm playing my own game with my own level. You understand? My life, I'm unique, and my life is unique. That's how I feel. You understand? So it takes maturity for you to get there. You understand? Maturity, as I said, the impacts of the human growth and development. Number one, changes in your attention span. Right? That's a negative. External validation and inner validation. Young people often learn to measure worth through life and engagements. They compare. Okay, we are human beings. We do it all the time, right? It can be very negative if you keep on doing that, right? This can slow emotional maturity and inner confidence and unless corrected. So young people often learn to measure worth through likes and engagement, right? So who likes my videos? I don't have a lot of likes anyway, but I know that what I am sharing is of value to somebody, even if it's one person, two people, whatever. But at least it's of value to somebody. I'm not gonna sit there and count how many likes. Maybe at the beginning of my social media journey on TikTok, it used to affect me, but now it doesn't because I understand that not every single person is in my frequency range. Not every single person understands my content. Not every single person shall be inspired by my content. Not every single person may even like my content, even like my face and my energy, my vibe. Not every single person is really attracted to my vibe. I'm okay with that as well. I walk around with confidence because I know that my vibe is unique to me. So if you don't match with my content, take what resonates and leave the rest. That's how it goes. You understand? So even if there's one like or two likes, I don't give a damn. I made that content. I was inspired to make it, and it's out there, right? Forever who is ready for it, they will reach it, or the content will reach them. That's what I believe. I believe in that. I don't believe in instant gratification or go viral. I'm not in for that. Basically, it's nice to have a viral video, have a lot of people viewing you. It's nice, but I don't focus my life on that. I don't focus my social media experience as a content creator on that. I'm new to social media anyway, not as advanced or experienced as other people, and my YouTube is still growing. And I understand in time the right people, my right tribe will gather. Now I've got over 200 people following. My tribe is growing gradually. You understand? And I'm okay with that as well. I'm not here to impress any person with a lifestyle. I'm here to teach, inform, and inspire. I'm here to trigger as well, to trigger. Because remember that triggering insights, trigger something that you can learn and go research more about it. It's important to know that life is all about the light, gaining more light. We all hear about gaining light. So in closing, let me close now, right? Because it's 8 minutes now, okay? In closing, social media is a wonderful platform. It's a platform of self-discovery. It's a platform of self-learning. It's a platform of connecting with others. It's a platform of sharing your skills and your abilities as well, serving the communities, right? So I normally base my concepts of social media as a servant. I'm serving my community because I am also a life coach as well and spiritual teacher, okay? Important to know that, right? The social media is a wonderful platform that can be used to grow yourself and grow others, and also to destroy if you want to be negative. You can go around trolling people. Some people just do that. Some negative people just go around strolling, lost, full of darkness, trolling different social media content creators that they don't agree on the content, and they criticize, they bring that person down because they are just in that vibe of negative frequency, that in that vibe they're out of love, that in that vibe of criticism. Okay, now the algorithm is important part of social media. Okay, it shapes your behavior as well. The algorithm rewards gives you your watching time. It's all about your watching time. You'll know about that, right? It's based on your watch time, how long you watch the content as well. You see, the algorithm, it's just like a frequency. It's a frequency. It's an understanding. The system understands that you so and so like spiritual content. You so and so like sports. That's your frequency. Your ideologies around sports, your ideologies around spirituality. That's your algorithm. That's your algorithm. This word is so tongue-tying. It's not an everyday word, but now it's becoming an everyday word, right? Algorithm, right? How it shapes everything. Your watch time, how long you spend on each content as well, right? It's all about that. It's about watching you, how what you consuming, what you sharing, what you liking as well. What triggers your emotional reactions as well, right? Also picks up on that. Uh the more emotional you respond, the increased intense versions of the contents will be now exposed to you. That's what I've noticed. If I am very emotionally triggered by content and I go and I type I give my opinions I notice it the next day. Yeah, I get the same content but more um related to what I actually responded to basically. So actually it's a frequency, it's an intelligent way of also understanding your consumers on the platform. It's a frequency algorithm. It's a very important part of social media. You need to understand it, but don't be a slave to it. You can change it. If you, for example, you uh were a sports person and all your content is about sport players and sports awards and all those things, okay? For a very long time, it's been showing up on your feed because that's what you're consuming. If you change it and swap to fitness, personal fitness, and now you start following personal fitness videos and content creators for a while, to do that for a couple of days, 3 days or a week, you see now you're changing your algorithm, you're changing your frequency, you're changing that frequency. Now you're telling the system, the app, that no, I'm now changing, I'm no more that person anymore, I'm now somebody else who's focused on personal fitness. Whatever you may do, it's about just changing. That's what I've noticed. You can change it. You can change it because it's something that you created because of your content that you were focusing on. It's neither bad or good, right? But I understand as a content creator, I had to understand basically what it is and what triggers it, right? So yeah, so let me just close my live now, right? Because I'm now over 1 hour. I don't like having more than 1 hour of a live, okay? So guys, as we are now heading, or we're at the end actually of November and heading into December, right? This is a great time for self-reflection, understanding yourself, things you could have done better in 2025, and now you have a chance in 2025 to do better. You've learned a lot about yourself in this year. This year has been a very tumultuous type of year. A lot of turmoil has been happening in this year because it's a nine year, right? It's the end of this a nine cycle, right? So there's a lot of turmoil even on the global stage with the global political stuff happening. You understand? Globally, it's been very tumultuous, very a lot of turmoil, a lot of problems, a lot of challenges for every person in this reality in 2025. And now we're switching over to 2026 very soon. I think in the next 31 days, if I'm right, yeah. December is 31 days, right? So we're starting a new cycle. And as I said, this year was the year of the snake. Next year is the year of the horse, starting afresh. Another cycle is year one, right? It's year one in numerology. Another cycle, beginning of another 9 year cycle. So you ask yourself, what have I achieved in 9 years, these last 9 years? How I actually evolved and grown as a person. Very important to sit with yourself and ask yourself. You need to have self-reflection because it means now you're living consciously. Drifters don't reflect on anything because of the fact they're drifting. They're just living for living sake. They're just reacting to life. They're not just planning and have no intention. My coaching style and my channel is about intentional living. You got ahead to say, well, what has this year shown me about myself? Can I look back in the last 9 years? Can I go back and see 9 years ago, where was I? And look where I am now. All the things I've learned about myself. Remember, everything's about self-development and self-growth. My channel's about that, guys. So if you have not as yet, go ahead and, subscribe to my channel. So, Elsa, you live in Midrand. I used to work in Midrand, Lavi. I used to work in Midrand as I lived in Kempton Park. Right. So a wonderful place, but I know it's very evolved now and changed. I think they developed a lot of like more places to accommodate for accommodation and stuff, more like townhouses and stuff like that. Right. So I can imagine how evolved it is now. Okay, guys. So as I said before, if you have not as yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, right? And join my little community that's expanding as well. Okay, because we're all about self-development, self-awareness, and evolving as a person individually. Remember that the world can only change when we change collectively, yes, but also individually. The world can only change when we decide that we want to be better people for ourselves, for our families, for the world. Right? When you become a better person for yourself, you're more intentional, right? You're more aware of your choices, what you say to people, what you're thinking. You're more aware of what you're manifesting in your reality, right? It's all about that. Creating a life that you will very be happy with. Not a life where you say, oh my God, how did I get here? How did I get here? I just stumbled. You never just stumbled. You created where you are now. It never just happened, right? So you need to be more aware. So my channel is about being more aware about yourself and your decisions. What you're saying to yourself, your inner talk, and what you're saying to other people, about other people and about yourself. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Are they positive, uplifting, or your thoughts are restricting and diminishing? Are you spending your time criticizing other people and criticizing yourself? Because if you criticize other people, you definitely criticize yourself because you're not happy with yourself. When you're happy with yourself, you cannot criticize other people, but you just see them as, yeah, different versions of yourself. You see them as also people that are just living life. You know what I'm trying to say? Living according to their own level of awareness and understanding. They're just doing their best, like you. Don't criticize people. Don't judge people, right? Because when you judge people, criticize people, you're actually doing it to yourself as well. All right. So anyway, have a great week further. May this December find you well, positive, and inspired to live more and better in life. Okay. So learn to love yourself wherever you are, whatever position you find yourself in. Appreciate where you are now. Be grateful for where you are now, right, guys? So enjoy the new coming week and enjoy December because tomorrow's the first and we're coming into this festive period. Be safe. Don't overindulge in alcohol, right? Keep away from violent people, right? And don't solve problems with violence. Try and solve problems with love and understanding and talking, communication. That's the best thing ever. I know there's a lot of violence that happens now in December because people consume a lot of alcohol, okay? So beware of that, right? Watch your consumption of alcohol. Even food, don't overeat. People eat in December like never gonna eat again. People shop like never gonna shop again. Remember that the corporations depend on you thinking like this so they can make more money. The more you buy, the more corporations get more money and you get less money because you're spending your energy in places where you don't need to. You're buying things you don't really need. So before you leave home, write out what you need in the house. If it's cooking, cleaning stuff, write it down. Have an intention when you go shopping. I guarantee you, if people have more intention when they go shopping, right? It won't be like, for example, people coming to the till and they're taking things back because they not have no intention. They're just like kind of taking things because they like. They're not even thinking, can I afford this thing? There's no intention and consciousness, direct consciousness of what you're doing. So when you leave home, write your list and don't leave home hungry. That's another little thing psychologically. If you leave home hungry, go shopping at this time in the festive period. You end up overbuying because you're hungry. Don't leave home hungry. At least if you carry an apple or a banana if you're in a hurry, and eat that in a car or something, or have a good breakfast, right? And have the list of all the things you want to buy at the mall or at the shops. Don't buy because you are triggered by the colors and the music and the festive vibe. Don't do that. You must be a shopper that has intention. And when you do that, you see how much you'll save. And don't go with the whole family shopping. That's another drama that I don't understand why people go with the whole family. There's no order. It has to be family, small little children. I mean, take them out, but going shopping to malls, you're gonna buy food, and you got all these children. It's also very chaotic. It also confuses you as a mother. Now you have all these children here. The man will leave and do his own thing. Now you're trying to manage little children. Number one, now you're becoming a soft target for people that are stealing, people that are coming to take from other people. I'm trying to, because now in the confusion, you're trying to manage the children, and you carry in the bag, you got your wallet in there, your bank cards. Be careful. This is the festive period. Be very careful about your personal belongings, especially your wallet. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to go take the children shopping. Take them to an event, a playground where well, you're not going to be in a state of confusion, whatever, trying to direct them, whatever. Take him to McDonald's, whatever sort it may be, instead of you taking him into the mall, into the shopping shop, and you want to buy, and then there's confusion and all those things, and then your wallet can be taken. Be very careful this time, right? Especially with that, with how you handle your money and stuff. Be very careful at this time, because there are a lot of people now, the freeloaders, the people that want to take from other people. Very careful at this time, because it's festive period. Okay, on the roads as well, drive with caution, have your eyes open as well, because now, yeah, people are drinking alcohol, people are intoxicated, people are stressed. Oh my god, I don't have enough money, I must buy presents for this, I must buy food. People are not thinking straight. Not every single person in the car is in right states of mind. Not every single person is in a balanced state of mind. Be very careful on the roads as well as you drive. And there's more accidents in a festive period of time than any other time, because of the chaos, and our people are just not focused, no intention. They're just moving with the whole vibe of the festive spirit. And this is an energetic thing. You can even feel it. If you go shopping now at this time, you can feel that vibe. People are excited. As you go in towards 25th of December, the vibe increases, that whole festive vibe increases, and people that can be very, very distractive. Can distract you from your intention, what you want to go and buy. That's what I'm saying. My advice is to write your list of what you need for your Christmas lunch, what you need for now. Don't overbuy things you don't need, because all that money will go to waste, because the food will go to waste. You understand that kind of thing. Be very careful. This is a time where you need to be very intentional of what you need to buy, and what you need to do, and what you need to get done at this time. Right? So, yeah, as I said, it's just a word of advice. Okay, guys? So, have a great week coming into December, and enjoy the first week of December, right? And love yourself, because you are very important to yourself. You are an amazing being having a human experience. You are spirits having a human experience, okay? So love yourself, appreciate yourself, and love others as well. And be kind to yourself and others as well at this time. That's another thing that we forget about the festive. It's time for kindness, it's time for love. So about Christ consciousness, apparently, get my point, it's about Christ consciousness. It's not about buying 24/7 and overeating and overspending. It's about love, appreciating where you are at this moment, and appreciating other people as well. All right. So have a great first week of December, guys. Ciao.